Cowboys will take center stage tomorrow night under the bright lights of Monday Night Football when they face the LA Chargers at SoFi Stadium. And that is where we find our Larry Ramirez tonight for a preview of what's on Instant Replay. Hi out there, Larry.
Hello, Tim. You know, you gave me such a complex earlier. I had to put my socks and my shoes back on just for you, good sir. So the Rams played here today. The Chargers will run at SoFi tomorrow night, and coming up tonight on a brand new edition of Instant Replay.
Kellen's a great, OC, as you can see what he's doing to those guys over there. I love to see it, and I'm happy to see him back, doing what he does best.
After scoring just 10 points last week in that embarrassing loss to the Niners, the Cowboys offensive players say they're focused and back on track heading to LA. And now their defense will face a man who knows them very, very well, Chargers OC, Kellen Moore.
Stroud from the pocket fires, and it's intercepted, the first of his career.
How about that? Texans QB C.J. Stroud threw his first NFL interception today, more than a month into his pro career, but it didn't hurt as the Texans got it right back by forcing and then recovering a fumble. Stroud is off to a blazing start, and the Texans are reaping the benefits.
Here's Massey with the cell, rocketing down the lane, handing to Wembanyama. Jack hammers it in.
Oh, he's showing us everything.
Victor Wembanyama is having a fantastic preseason, creating one highlight reel play after another. His teammates are excited as Spurs fans are very pumped up. Mary Rominger has more as Wemby mania continues to grow. Plus, we got the College Corner, and San Antonio FC is unfortunately limping into the postseason. Plus, we got the best of BGC. Instant Replay is coming up live and next right after the Nightbeat, live in San Antonio and live right here on the West Coast. Tim?
I'm glad you're fully clothed, but now if you go into that water behind you, you'll have wet socks. Thanks, Larry. We'll see you later. Still to come, the fight to find a cure for breast cancer is a never-ending one. How a push at Baptist Health System is helping doctors and patients alike in the battle against breast cancer. A push with new technology and new techniques to treat one disease that is top of mind this month, and that is breast cancer.
The Night Team's Avery Everett takes us inside Baptist Health System's Breast Center, where patients and doctors alike are fighting for a cure.
It's our little miracle.
Even in these new memories,
And that's our little family.
Aubrey Espinoza can still see the past.
I feel like I stayed in May forever.
May 2022. Forever synonymous with her breast cancer diagnosis at only 30 years old.
Hard. So much going through my mind.
But she wasn't alone on her journey with breast cancer. At the time of her diagnosis, she was weeks pregnant with her daughter Kinley.
My daughter went through the first 4 rounds of chemo with me.
She got treatment through the Baptist Health System. From surgery to chemotherapy, her journey came complicated.
Cancer is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing.
And doctors say looking forward, there's reason for optimism.
We have come an incredibly long way with things like targeted therapy, therapies that actually target specific characteristics of the tumor cell.
Doctors say this year, new technology and treatments are saving more people like Espinoza.
It's very detectable, it's preventable, and it's treatable.
They're also advocating for regular screenings.
If you skip that mammogram, we're kind of missing a piece of that puzzle.
Typically, women over 40 should get a screening every year. But new research from the American College of Radiology is calling for all women to get a risk assessment at the age of 25 to determine if earlier screening is needed, hoping to help detect more patients like Espinoza earlier on.
If you feel something, just keep pushing until you have answers.
Now a survivor and a mom to 2.
And we just got her birthday pictures done.
Espinoza says there was a day she thought she wouldn't see her daughter's first birthday, but not anymore.
There was always that chance of losing her, so I know she's gonna be a feisty little firecracker, and she's gonna be the strongest woman ever. I know it.
Just like her mom.
Both strong and beautiful. She says while she has been declared cancer-free, her treatment is far from over. She'll be taking pills for the next 5 years and getting a monthly shot. And after chemo, she's also facing the additional journey of breast reconstruction.
Strong and beautiful indeed. All right, let's go outside, check in with live cam. Temperatures still in the low 60s for us here in San Antonio. It is cool out there, and tomorrow morning it is going to be a chilly start to our Monday. All right, so we talked about lows this morning. Our high temperature, according to the Almanac data here, 79. That's actually a little bit below the average for this time of year. The average is 83 and well below the record of 95 that was set back in the 1930s. It was 76 in Gonzales, a few spots hitting the 80-degree mark, 81 in Hondo, 80 in Uvalde, and 84 out west in Del Rio. 72, though, in Rock Springs over there in Edwards County. Again, it is pretty much going to be similar out there over the next couple of days before we start to see those temperatures really crank up into the second half of the upcoming work week. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Plus, we had an awesome sight in the south central Texas sky yesterday, the annular eclipse taking place. We've got a ton of KSAT Connect photos to show you. We'll do that in just a few.
Thank you, Mia. Florida governor and presidential candidate Ron DeSantis is calling on the U.S. not to accept refugees from Gaza because they, quote, are all anti-Semitic, end quote. Tens of thousands are leaving their home in Gaza after Israel warned of a possible ground invasion. DeSantis made those comments at a campaign stop in Iowa, and he's made it clear he does not want those refugees entering the U.S.
If you look at how they behave, not all of them are Hamas, but they are all anti-Semitic. None of them believe in Israel's right to exist.
DeSantis went on to say Arab states should accept the Gaza refugees. Meanwhile, rival Republican contender Nikki Haley has responded to DeSantis' remarks, saying the U.S. has, quote, always been sympathetic to the fact that you can separate civilians from terrorists. Meanwhile, on college campuses across the U.S., some students are facing backlash after expressing their views on Israel's war with Hamas. A New York University student's job offer was rescinded after they blamed Israel for the destruction in the region. As ABC's M. Wynn reports, several CEOs are calling for Harvard students to be blacklisted after they signed a statement saying Israel is responsible for the war.
The violence in Israel and Gaza raising tensions on college campuses as students react to the war.
It's the job of colleges to ensure that universities are places for freedom of expression.
Former Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, president of the University of Florida, which has one of the largest Jewish student populations in the country, telling Fox News.
This isn't morally complex. It's easy to condemn evil as evil. But if they want to wrestle with complexity, why don't some of these university presidents stand up and actually read the Hamas charter on their campus and then grapple with the call for the genocide and eradication of the Jewish people?
Harvard was the first to make headlines after prominent alumni lambasted a collection of statements from pro-Palestinian student groups who called Israel entirely responsible for the war. Several CEOs, including hedge fund manager Bill Ackman, say the names of these students should be released so their companies don't inadvertently hire them.
And if people are actually signing on to that statement, we would want to be able to make sure that we're not hiring those individuals.
Harvard's president issued a statement condemning the atrocities, adding the student groups do not speak for the school. The University of Pennsylvania also coming under fire. Jewish alumnus Mark Rowan, in a letter to a student publication called The Daily Pennsylvanian, denounced the university's decision to allow a Palestinian literature festival last month, claiming it presented anti-Semitic ideas. Now he's calling on the president and chairman to resign. But Penn's Board of Trustees vice chair responded, "I have full confidence in the leadership." This after an NYU law student in a newsletter blamed Israel for the deaths in the region. That student had a job offer rescinded by a law firm. The on-campus tensions are raising fears for some about anti-Semitic backlash, and others are concerned about threats against Palestinians. Some students who are protesting here in the nation's capital tell me that colleges should step up to not only ensure their students are safe, but also to ensure they feel safe. M. Wynn, ABC News, Washington.
Florida lawmakers and education leaders from around the U.S. have taken what is likely the last tour of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida. It is the site of the 2018 Valentine's Day school shooting where a student shot and killed 17 people and injured 17 more. That building is set to be demolished sometime next summer. Parkland authorities say yesterday was the last day people would be allowed to tour that building, which has been preserved as evidence since that shooting happened. President Joe Biden raised more than $71 million for his reelection campaign in the Democratic Party in the third quarter alone. That haul is outpacing the amounts raised by every Republican presidential candidate that's reported their results so far. The president's campaign has also doubled the number of donors who have committed to giving every month since last quarter. That figure now reaching over 112,000 people. Suzanne Somers, best known for her role of Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, has died. Somers' publicist said she passed away this morning after a 23-year-long battle with breast cancer. She was surrounded by her husband, son, and other extended family members when she died. Somers and her family were set to celebrate her 77th birthday tomorrow.
Coming up, chances are you or someone you know has gotten sick this fall. Health experts are weighing in on the latest wave of seasonal illnesses we're seeing and how you can stay healthy. Coming up.
Have you noticed a lot of people around you have been sick lately? It may be the changing weather, allergies, arrival of flu season, COVID. The Nightbeat's Patty Santos talks to a doctor about how to ensure you don't end up in the hospital.
Flu season is approaching. I work at the hospital and it's very contagious. You can get it yearly. Baptist Health System nurse Jovi Axman is gearing up to come face to face with those unlucky patients who end up in the hospital because of complications from the flu, COVID, or other illnesses.
Yes, I work at PCU floor, so it's a sick area floor.
In late August and September, we have actually had people who are pretty sick being hospitalized with COVID, and some of them, with fatal cases.
Infectious disease Dr. Dwayne Hospenthal says many of those hospitalized with viral infections had other risk factors. He says symptoms for the latest strain of COVID are now more like the flu, with chills, fever, and body aches. Hospenthal says those who are immunocompromised or at high risk with asthma, chronic lung disease, should not wait to get protection.
Influenza shots are out there for the season. People should be getting those. COVID vaccine is available. Both the RNA vaccines, the Pfizer and Moderna, are available, as well as the non-RNA vaccine.
And he says if you're already sick, stay home.
What can they try at home? What have you known to home remedies that can help them feel better or get better sooner?
Home remedies really are just what your mother told you. Stay hydrated. If you're not eating well, hydration with something with some electrolytes in it is probably better. Chicken soup.
The Center for Disease Control tracks flu numbers by week, and this is where we are right now. We're in the green, which is a good thing. We're very low numbers, but in the coming months, we're probably going to move up to the more moderate high numbers. That's what happened last year. Now, between October of last year to September of this year, Texas reports 12 children died because of flu complications. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
So that weather held up for our eclipse, didn't it?
I think even with the little clouds, it made some of the photos cooler.
I was going to say, we did have a little spooky.
Appropriate for an October annular eclipse.
I agree.
Spooky season. Exactly. Yeah. Getting a little nervous in a couple of spots. I know Mike was in Uvalde yesterday morning, and the morning started off pretty cloudy. They even had some light rain, a few sprinkles, but thankfully, right at the time of the peak annular eclipse, started to see that cloud cover break up, as was the case across a good portion of South Central Texas. We got so many KSAT Connect photos in. Thank you all, first of all, for sending these in. They've been awesome to look at, awesome to share. Here's what it looked like from Hondo as that ring of fire was taking shape. This closer to Live Oak Cinema, another ring of fire shot. Here's one from SeaWorld with some of the passing clouds, the spooky factor that Tim and Courtney were talking about. Another one from here in San Antonio, and I love this. Even had the glasses for the dog. So thank you again all so much for sending those in. If you would like to send in one that you were able to capture of the eclipse, you can do that on your KSAT Weather Authority app or KSAT.com/connect. We'd love to see them. All right, weather headlines over the next couple of days. A few chilly mornings, comfortable afternoons, low humidity through at least the middle of the week. So that's going to be very nice as well. But then as we head into Thursday and Friday, we're really going to start to see that warming trend and take shape. Not right now, though. Take a look at temperatures outside here in San Antonio. 62 degrees, mostly clear skies, a dew point of 37, so it actually feels like 62. And those winds have really calmed down compared to what we were seeing earlier this afternoon. It's 62 in Gonzales right now, 61 over in Kennedy. Kerrville already dropping into the mid-50s, 55. It's 58 in Hondo this 10 p.m. hour. Now, as we continue on through the overnight, still keeping those mostly clear skies in place for the most part. Combine that with the dry air. It is a perfect recipe for temperatures to continue to fall. By 7 a.m. Monday morning, 51 in Pleasanton, 53 in Cotulla, as well as Eagle Pass stretching over to Del Rio. So yes, you will want the extra layer first thing tomorrow. Headed out to the bus stop, headed out for the morning commute, but by the afternoon, you're not going to need it. We're going to see plenty of sunshine and that high temperature focused around 77 here in San Antonio. Most of us climbing into the upper 70s, like what we saw earlier this afternoon. I think a few low 80s briefly will be possible, especially the farther south and west that you go. Copy and paste that into Tuesday. Very pleasant, a little bit warmer by Wednesday, around 82, that forecast high, and then a little taste of summer returns by Friday and even into next weekend. So let's talk about that setup. Again, we are quiet right now here in South Central Texas, but as we were talking about a little bit earlier, we've got high pressure system off to our west right now, closing in on the Four Corners region. That's going to continue to work eastward here over the next couple of days, really push across the state of Texas Tuesday and into Wednesday, which is why our weather is going to be pretty quiet here in town. But by Thursday, we start to focus on that low pressure system close to the Great Lakes. It does look to drop a front into the Lone Star State on Thursday, specifically with all of the moisture that we have in the air at that point, the humidity building by Thursday morning, an isolated shower possible, but nothing in terms of significant rain chances, only about a 10% chance, and it's not really going to do anything to our temperatures as we saw earlier. We're going to see some more dry air move in. That's actually going to help our temperatures warm as we see those climb closer to about 90 by Friday. So just that 10% chance on Thursday, and then we're quiet into the weekend. So until then, enjoy this cooler air that we have in place. Again, chilly over the next couple of mornings, but very comfortable in the afternoons. With all of that sunshine in place, it is still going to feel very fall-like, at least into the middle of the upcoming week, guys.
My Daisy enjoyed the
Yeah, I was going to say he didn't send it to KSAT Connect, but this was the cutest picture.
Really hard to see. She had a good time.
I love it. She's a cutie. All right, Halloween's getting closer, but the scariest thing at the movie theaters was how overwhelming the dominance was of a certain concert film. The weekend's top 5 films at the box office next on the Nightbeat.
The one featuring Travis Kelce, right?
Exactly.
She's not ready yet. The range of her powers are still growing.
The Creator fell to 5th place, pulling in $4.3 million. $5.7 million put Saw X at number 4. Paw Patrol: The Mighty Movie dug up $7 million to take 3rd place.
Body in the blood! Body in the blood!
As expected, The Exorcist Believer lost the top spot, scaring up $11 million for a 10-day domestic total of $45 million.
Welcome to the Eras Tour!
Taylor Swift: The Eras Tour was number 1 with a bullet. The movie version of the superstar's mega-popular concert tour opened with $96 million in ticket sales. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Taylor saved us from the demonic teen girls. Aren't you happy?
I wasn't watching I don't even watch the trailers. I'm happy with Taylor being up there. I don't have to see all the scary stuff.
All right, Saturday was a good day for UTSA, Incarnate Word, and Texas State football programs, with all 3 earning conference wins at home.
And the Dallas Cowboys are hoping to pick up a road win at the Los Angeles Chargers tomorrow night. For a preview of what's on Instant Replay, let's go live to Larry Ramirez, who's outside SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, that's right, guys. You know what? This is a game the Dallas Cowboys really want to win heading into their bye week. Plus, they can also pick up a game on the Philadelphia Eagles coming up tonight on Instant Replay.
Hurts facing a 4-man rush over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Adams.
Jets, Jets, Jets. The Jets pulled off a big upset in the NFL today by beating the Eagles. Mary Rominger will have your NFL highlights. Plus, we're also talking the Cowboys and the Texans. Big game coverage week 8 was awesome, just like every other week this season. Tonight, we've got one star who got nominated twice for the same category. That's a first. We'll show you the best fans, best pass, catch, best run, and the best play. Plus, we've got a brand new 12's Top 12 in Class 6A, 5A, and Sub 5A. And Nick Mantis, he will have Game 1 of the ALCS as well as the College Corner. Instant replay is live from the West Coast and San Antonio coming up right after the Nightbeat. And Tim, as I told you earlier, I'm leaving my shoes on.
I appreciate that. I apologize for the Fred Flintstone remark about your bare feet earlier. For the record, I have hobbit feet, so we're all good.
If you weren't with us earlier, they were covered with sand.
They were.
It was fine.
When LA, got to be relaxed.
You have to be.
Yeah.
Get your feet in the sand. We'll be right back.